Today, we're zeroing in on one specific, really dynamic year in American history, 1961. Our mission, as always, is to take the sources you've provided, kind of unpack them, and pull out those essential insights and maybe surprising facts that give you a real feel for this pivotal time. It's about getting a sense of the nation's pulse, right on the edge of some major changes.
It's a great way to put it, because 1961, it wasn't just another year. It was, a crucible, really. The things we're going to talk about, the economy, the politics, the culture, they didn't just pop up out of nowhere. They were laying the groundwork, setting the stage for these huge societal shifts that, frankly, we still feel today. You can almost see the seeds of our modern world being planted right there.
Okay, so let's dig in right away with the economy. Our sources definitely paint a picture of pretty robust growth in the U.S. in 61. A lot of families were seeing their incomes go up. And we've got some numbers here that really help put you in that moment. Like the average household income, it reached about $5,800.
Which sounds incredibly low to us now, obviously.
Right, but let's contextualize it. Think about buying a new car then. Something popular, maybe a Ford Falcon or a Chevy Impala, big hits with the growing middle class that would set you back around $2,900 on average.
So roughly half the average annual income for a brand new car.
Exactly, and a new home. Maybe you're moving out to the suburbs looking for more space. That averaged around $29,200.
Still a big investment, but again, becoming more attainable.
And if you were renting, say, in a city, you were probably looking at about $140 a month. Plus, groceries for the family, maybe $70 to $75 a week, which points to this abundance of food thanks to strides in agriculture. These numbers aren't just stats, they're like little windows, aren't they?
They absolutely are. And what they really highlight is that post-war economic boom hitting its stride. It wasn't just numbers on a page. It meant an expanding middle class could actually buy these things, the house, the car. It fueled a lifestyle, an aspiration.
The American dream sort of codified in these purchases.
Precisely. That accessibility, it fed this real sense of optimism, of consumer confidence. It was tangible progress for a lot of people.
It really grounds you in the era. Thinking about those costs versus income helps you feel what daily life might have been like. But okay, while things felt prosperous maybe at home, the bigger picture, politically, both here and globally, was pretty intense, shifting dramatically. Expert, Kennedy's inauguration obviously set a new tone, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. January 20th, 1961, John F. Kennedy comes in, and right away there's this feeling of new energy, a different direction. His administration hit the ground running, focusing on civil rights, pushing for more economic growth, and crucially pouring energy into the space race against the Soviets.
That famous "ask not what your country can do for you" speech really captured that spirit.
It did. It wasn't just about policies. It was trying to shape the national mood, project this vision of purpose. But, with that ambition came immediate challenges, right?
What stands out for you from the sources on that front? Well, yeah, it's interesting. Looking at the big news stories, you see these two massive, almost opposing developments. On one hand, you've got the launch of the Peace Corps.
Right, Kennedy's initiative.
Yeah, aimed at international cooperation, sending young Americans abroad, building goodwill. Very hopeful, very outward-looking.
A real symbol of that new frontier idealism.
Definitely. But then on the complete other side of the coin, you have the construction of the Berlin Wall starting in August.
Ugh, yes. Such a stark contrast.
Talk about a symbol. This raw physical barrier slamming down, embodying the Cold War divide. East versus West, freedom versus, well, lack of it.
It's really quite a striking juxtaposition for a single year, isn't it?
It is.
The Peace Corps trying to connect the world, the Berlin Wall physically splitting it. It perfectly captures the complex, tense global dynamics of 61. You've got this simultaneous push for connection, this harsh reality of division. How do you think that played out in the American mindset back then? That push and pull.
I imagine it must have created a sort of national cognitive dissonance, the soaring rhetoric and hope, alongside this grim Cold War reality playing out in real time.
Okay, let's maybe pivot from that high-stakes global stage to something closer to home, but equally transformative in its own way. Medicine. 1961 saw some really significant progress there.
It really did.
And the one that jumps out, arguably with the most profound long-term social impact, was the introduction of the first oral contraceptive, inauguration.
Yeah, that wasn't just another pill. It was revolutionary. It fundamentally changed things for women. For families.
How so specifically?
Well, it gave women unprecedented control over family planning. That simple fact had enormous ripple effects. It opened doors for women to pursue higher education, to enter the workforce in greater numbers because they could plan their lives differently. It challenged traditional roles, sparked debates. Its impact is hard to overstate, really. We're still seeing the consequences play out.
Absolutely. And it wasn't the only health news, right? Weren't there strides in vaccines too? Yes, definitely. The fight against polio, for instance, was making huge progress with vaccines becoming more widespread. So you had these major public health victories happening alongside something as personal and society-altering as the pill. Medical science was visibly changing daily life, offering new protections and new freedoms.
It's amazing how quickly those changes could be felt, and that sense of change, that dynamism, it wasn't just in labs or politics, it was in the culture too.
Right.
Like, let's talk about what people were listening to and watching. Our sources say the #1 song that year was "The Lion Sleeps Tonight" by The Tokens.
Ah, the Tokens. Whim away.
Exactly, that incredibly catchy, kind of whimsical sound, it just permeated everything.
Such a distinctive sound for the time.
And on TV. The #1 show was still the Andy Griffith Show, holding strong.
Yeah, Mayberry. That comforting, idealized vision of small-town America, family values, it clearly resonated.
So you've got this playful, almost exotic pop hit on one hand, and this very wholesome, traditional sitcom on the other.
It's interesting, isn't it? They tapped into different needs, I think. The Lion Sleeps Tonight offered pure, infectious fun, maybe a bit of escapism, while Andy Griffith offered stability, community, maybe a sense of reassurance in a world that felt like it was speeding up and getting more complicated. They both captured something about the mood, the imagination of the time.
Yeah, providing different kinds of comfort or excitement. So, okay, bringing it back down to daily life again, beyond the big headlines, the hit songs. What about, say, fashion? How were people expressing themselves? Our sources mention that fashion in '61 was reflecting this blend of modernity but also self-expression.
Makes sense.
For men, a tailored suit might cost around $75. Casual stuff, maybe shirts and slacks, about $40. And styles were starting to loosen up a bit, bolder patterns, more relaxed fits appearing.
A move away from the very strict conformity of the 50s, perhaps.
Seems like it. And for women, elegance was still key, but evolving. Dresses averaged around $60. Popular looks included those fitted silhouettes, but also vibrant fabrics, reflecting that optimistic, maybe forward-looking spirit we talked about.
Yet the fashion often mirrors the broader mood, doesn't it? That optimism, that confidence, it shows up in brighter colors, maybe slightly more adventurous styles. It's a visual cue to the era's energy.
A subtle sign of the times. Now, connecting some threads here, we mentioned the Cold War, Kennedy's focus. What about the military aspect? Our sources note that military personnel in '61 earned about $400 a month.
Okay.
Which seems important, right? It points to that ongoing, significant commitment to maintaining a strong military posture as those Cold War tensions were really simmering, even escalating.
Definitely. A constant backdrop to everything else happening.
But alongside that very serious global reality, you also had these incredible leaps in technology and invention. I mean, the biggest one, arguably, that captured the world's attention. The Soviets launched the first human into space, Yuri Gagarin in Vostok 1, April 1961.
Monumental. Absolutely monumental. A huge moment in the space race, and a bit of shock to the U.S., of course.
Huge pressure then on the American space program. But even besides space, there were other innovations trickling down, right? Consumer tech.
Yeah, advancements in household appliances continued. Things aimed at making life easier, more convenient, building on the trends of the 50s, but getting more sophisticated.
So it's this interesting mix again.
It really is. You've got this high-stakes geopolitical competition, the space race, driving incredible, almost sci-fi level innovation. But at the same time, there's this focus on domestic life, on improving everyday comfort and efficiency through consumer goods. It shows that dual focus, competing on the world stage while also trying to build a better, more convenient life at home.
So, wrapping this up, as we look back at everything we've touched on, 1961 really does feel like a hinge point, doesn't it? You've got major political change with Kennedy, this cultural evolution happening in music and TV, huge medical breakthroughs like the pill.
The shadow of the Cold War, the excitement of space.
Exactly. From Kennedy's call to action to the Berlin Wall going up, from Innovid changing lives to Yuri Gagarin orbiting Earth, it just feels packed. The whole year captured the sense of a nation really on the verge of massive transformation.
I agree. And looking back at '61 isn't just, nostalgia or trivia. It's about understanding that potent mix of optimism and anxiety, of progress and tension that defined the era. And it makes you think, doesn't it? How did these moments of intense, rapid change like we saw in 1961 continue to echo? How do they shape where we are now, all these decades later?
That's the real takeaway, isn't it?
I think so. Maybe something for you, the listener, to consider. Think about how the developments of just one year, 1961, the seeds sown in politics to technology, culture, medicine, how they grew into these massive societal shifts that are still part of our world, still shaping our lives today. It's quite something to trace those lines back.